Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we are back with a brand new video, or should I say tonight, if you can even see me during the terrible camera quality. I do apologise about that, but yes, to the eagle-eyed audience that's tuning in to the video, this isn't the regular background, this isn't the regular car vlog experience, and yes, you're right about that, troops. This is the missus motor because we left to try and salvage what is left of a stressful, painful weekend following this football club for NFL Sunday at our friend's house. There's a munchy box on the platter and I've had to walk away and leave it, troops, to sit and talk in the car at night. How weird is this actually seeming to any other human that's experiencing what I'm actually going through? But we're actually here for a reason that couldn't be ignored, and that's the fact that Rangers has finally, and I mean finally, relieved Michael Beale of his services, which again, right away does feel a bit like a release off the shoulders. But is it a nice experience? Is it a nice experience to see someone lose their job? In fact, an entire crew lose their job, because Rangers didn't just sack Beale and point somebody else for the background. No, they cleaned house and got rid of everybody, which again was the correct decision. And when you move your heart away from it, you understand that. But again, on a human level, it's never nice to see someone lose their job. He seemed like a really good guy. We all wanted it to work out. I think 99.9% of the people tuning in all wanted it to work out for Beale, because if he was a successful Rangers manager, that meant we were a successful Rangers team. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, after a year, after money spent, the word successful and Michael Beale's Rangers term cannot go together. Because yes, for a while we were decent budget bullies. We could beat people a fraction of our financial resources quite comfortably, and on occasion on a nice, very run. But every single time it came to an even playing field, every single time Celtic came around, unfortunately for all of us associated with this football club, Michael Beale actually failed. And it's gutting. People can say, we bet them once. That's no who we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not beat around the bush. Me and you sitting talking here right now in a car at night, trips, as weird as it actually is, the one that we actually bet Celtic in was the least important way we could ever beat Celtic. It wasn't during a cup run, it wasn't during the league when it was there to be fought, it was when the league was done and over. And that's never a gauge of a Rangers successful manager, to beat Celtic when it does no matter. It's got to matter, and you've got to be consistently better than your rival. And we just haven't been people, and we've even stopped bullying the budget squads, the dross in the league. They've started to bully us. They didn't fear us anymore. The back-to-back games at Ibrox, we've been booed off the park. And taking the embarrassing Celtic loss away, you had Motherwell on that occasion that should have bet us that day. And of course, the most recent, the one that everyone knows, Aberdeen turned us over 3-1 at Ibrox. And that's just never. 3 losses out the opening 7 SPFL managers. Houdini couldn't escape for that bad boy. And Michael Beale's time has rightly came to an end, in my personal opinion, and it had to actually happen. And when you go ahead and look at it, who's next? Who's on the platter? Do I know something? Who's the next Rangers manager? Well, in the short term, it's Stephen Davis, ladies and gentlemen, which, yes, maybe the staunchest move we could have made, but I don't think I'm ready to process, people, that the current Rangers manager is injured. That's right, even our manager is injured right now, and I'm sure Stephen Davis will be looking, and his first action as Rangers manager will probably give Stephen Davis another extension or a year on advantage, because that's where we are. We've appointed Stephen Davis as the short-term interim manager, and I think that's what we all need to remember. There's a European game coming on Thursday, there's St Mirren coming on Sunday, and I think this is a completely different scenario away from where we were last year. We jokes and that aside, I think it's good that someone's not just been announced right away, because we know what happened last time when Gio was on the ropes getting beat from side to side, when it was going down that hill, when it was sticky, when we all knew what was coming. Michael Beale was sitting in the director's box laughing and joking with Connor Goldson and the executives at this football club. It just didn't feel right at the actual time, and I think we all knew as soon as Gio was sacked who was the man coming in. It was the guy that was at Ibrox a couple of weeks before. And where we sit now is, I think the Rangers board have been surprised about how badly it's failed, because again, Beale was given money to spend. Beale was brought his number one target in Dessers. Beale was brought his other targets, and he gave them what he wanted, but then when he got it, He never knew what to do with it. And that's why I maybe have a little less sympathy than maybe a lot of people, because I feel like a lot of Beale's problems were self-inflicted, if you know what I mean. Just go ahead and look at it. He got all his players he wanted, but then he started doing weird things and asked them to do stuff they'd never done in their career. Jose playing pretty much the entire right-hand side versus PSV. It's never been his game. It didn't work at Ibrox. We had to change it with bringing on Lundstrom, make it a bit more defensively sound. But then he done it a week later and we got absolutely roasted by it. Danilo couldn't stop scoring goals for Feyenoord. And then he gets brought in and starts playing left wing here or there. Here's 5 minutes here, son. Here's 5 minutes here, son. He's never seen that side of the park before. Sam Lammers used the way he's been used as well. It's been an absolute mess. He got all the toys that he wanted. He just never knew how to play them. Everything he would tell us in pressers, everything he'd say he would do. He could certainly talk the talk. Unfortunately, he couldn't walk the walk, and I think the board have been surprised by that. That's why there's no names on the current list. As soon as there is, we'll talk about it right here on the channel. But if you're looking at an exclusive who's going to be the next Rangers manager, you're not getting it today, because everyone has been caught with their scants pulled down by how badly it's went for Beale this season. And what's weird is, us as the fans, we haven't been surprised by this. Troops. I mean, I'm one of the most annoyingly positive, biased humans on this platform. Let's call it how it is. If there's a smudging of positivity that I can get behind, I will get there, because that's just the way I live my life. Obviously, football banter and all that aside, I always try and look to the positive. I always try and see the positive and stuff, and I wanted this to work. But even me, long before Rugby Park and the mistakes that happened on that day, remember me in pre-season, troops? I was dreading how we were looking as a team and how we were playing, because we looked lost and I couldn't see progression in pre-season when we were load managing. And I think when you've got somebody like me worrying so early into a season, it probably tells you just how badly we looked on the park. And aye, troops, that's what I've got to say. Do I believe it's the right decision? Yes. Is Stephen Davis a good enough appointment to tie us over? Yes. Joking aside about him being injured, he's obviously knows what this club's about standard. I'm not saying he knows the club inside out. We need to announce him permanently, but he knows the standards that was previously set here at this football club, and that's to be a winning football club. And he will take us over for Thursday, get us through Thursday, probably get us through St Mirren, and then at the start of next week you're looking at hopefully getting a new manager, and maybe it'll take us to the international break. That is where we are as a football club right now. Stephen Davis has been announced as the interim manager. Michael Beale and all his staff has been let go, and for me it's the absolute correct decision in every aspect of this football club. Didn't want it to be, never wanted it to pan out this way, but that is the way it goes, and sometimes life is quite cruel like that. Looking at the players, does that mean they're all flops now? What does it mean for this? And I struggle with this, because I think some people like Dessers, you could argue, did get Michael Beale fired because he's just had some of the worst performances that I've ever seen, especially considering the fact that he was the number one target for Michael Beale. But I think there is good players in there, but the way that Michael Beale has been using them has been completely wrong. They're looked wrecked of confidence. They looked wrecked of what they're absolutely able to do. Jose's never once been played in what he was able to do in the MLS. Get forward and attack. It's kind of sitting on the right-hand side and babysitting Tavernier. That's no his game. They've had zero chemistry. You can go through everyone apart from maybe Dessers, and everyone's had a moment you went, right, there could be something there. So I'm not calling everybody a dud that's come in. I just hope the next guy who comes in is doesn't need to be a Rangers man. Please, if you could bring us one thing as a fan, if you could make this grey napper happy, bring in someone who's got a proven track history of playing attacking football. We didn't want possession football. We've got 787 strikers. Can we maybe get a manager who's shown in his career he likes to play more than one at a time? That would be great. Let's learn from the mistakes in Michael Beale, making a system, building a system, getting rid of the goal scorers like an Antonio Cholak. I know you all call me a fanboy all the time for a laddie, but that's the best finisher we've had at the club for 15 years, troops, and we kicked him out the door. Why? Because he couldn't run in the channels and bring people into play. No, troops, a Rangers team should have a system that's built upon winning. Let's bring a Rangers manager in who's got that track of playing attacking football, because that is what wins you things. It's no boring the life out of opposition. The St Mirrens, the Aberdeens, the Livies, they're not going to come out and be sucked out in that. Let's get someone that plays attacking football, fit down, and really push in. We've got a lot of attacking players. Again, the best defence, a good offence. We didn't really have a good defence, so it'd be nice to get some offence. But that's what I want as a Rangers fan. I want the next Rangers manager. It doesn't need to be a proven winner or this or this or this or this or this. I just want a track history of playing attacking football, because that is what us as a fan base have been strangled away from for a very, very long time. And I didn't want somebody that says it in the press or says, if I was here, we wouldn't have lost the league. Well, you were here yet, mate, and you're 7 points behind already in September, the exact same as Gio. The only difference between him and Gio is Gio got us Champions League football against the same opposition, and Gio also won us a cup and got us to a European final. Again, I'm not saying we shouldn't have sacked Gio. Gio's football was also really poor and we couldn't really work out domestically what today, but Beale had more money since pretty much everybody since Dick Advocaat and failed catastrophically, in my opinion. So there's not going to be any sad stories or any, I feel like we should have given more time. No, the time was done. You were given a year. You continually failed in the biggest games, and unfortunately this football club has to move on and has to be better than that. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. And again, apologies about the quality, apologies about all that, but until next time, I've been CJ92. Please let me know down in the comments what you feel about this appointment. But until the next video, take care of yourselves, all the best, and bye-bye.